Hey guys, hopefully you watched the agenda video that explained a lot of things today. Talked about Zoom, talked about Journal, talked about how to submit things to me since some of you have a hard time knowing how to do that. So I just wanted to go over our next assignment for today. Hopefully you sent your journal in already. But this is going to be a reading comprehension assignment. So we're going to go to classwork. This is actually the same page that you see. I made up my own Google Classroom account so that way I can get in and see exactly what you can see. So today we're going to do a reading comprehension assignment. We're going to click on reading comprehension main idea and we're going to click on the image there. I am going to read this part, this page here for you. Okay, and then this page here is going to be actually your quiz that you're going to take afterwards. Okay. So Mealtime Manners is going to be our title. So make sure you're following along while I read what's on the screen. All right. What do you think your parents would say at your next Thanksgiving dinner? You took a handful of turkey from the platter and crammed it into your mouth. What if you then used the serving spoon to eat some dressing and took your grandmother's glass of water and used it to wash down your mouthful? Of course, they would be horrified, but this style of eating would actually be true in tradition. The Pilgrims celebrating their first Thanksgiving dinner with their Native American friends probably ate in just such a manner. Today, most people in Western cultures expect to eat meals with their own set of silverware, their own plate, and their own glass. Dinners use diners use the plates to hold their food only from their own glasses. But Europeans did not always eat this way. In the 1500s, members of the ruling classes used knives to carve helpings of meat. Since they rarely had their own plates and bowls, they would eat the slice of meat off the tip of the knife. They would use shared spoons to eat soup and would dip bread or their fingers into serving bowls of gravy or stew. If a person was rich enough to own a spoon or knife, he or she would carry these to a banquet and use them instead of their hands. There were a few rules for eating behavior. It was considered rude to taste something from a spoon if it was being passed down to another diner. If you had a bone left in your hand after eating a chicken leg, you were expected to toss it politely under the table. The working poor had even fewer mealtime manners, since they were usually just worried about getting enough food each day to survive. Their main utensils were their hands. When Europeans such as the Pilgrims settled in the New World, they brought this eating style with them. They used pieces of bread as spoons for soup, used their fingers for other food, and passed a shared cup at meals. While the colonists were sharing cups and dipping their fingers into bowls of food, European royalty and nobility were starting to expand their tableware. They were also developing manners to go with their new knives, forks, spoons, plates, and napkins. They started to think of sharing cups or platters as unsanitary and even rude. Their new manners set them apart and underscored their status as an upper class. By the 1700s, these new customs had spread to wealthy American settlers. As new landowners, they wanted to have a higher status than they would have had in Great Britain. They brought their own dishes and silverware and brought them to the colonies. By the late 1800s, mealtime manners had changed for everyone. As American middle class grew, so did their demand for tableware that showed off their prosperity. There was also an elaborate system of etiquette or manners by this time. The new emphasis on behavior extended to every aspect of everyday life, but was particularly important at meals. And what about the 21st century? Do our manners continue to become more complex? Just the opposite seems true. We eat fresh fruit and raw vegetables by hand, along with cheese and crackers. We buy burgers and fries at fast food restaurants and eat them in the car. We use our hands to eat pizza and tacos. Meal times are becoming more casual all the time. All right. Now that we read that, we are going to get out of here and we are going to go to your assessment. Okay, now I suggest going to view assessment in order to click on that that page there and make sure you mark as done once you're finished, so that way I can see what your answers are, because some of you are not pressing mark as done. Okay, I'm going to go to my classroom because I can't get into that assignment there. So we're going to go to the assessment. You're going to click on view assignment. You're going to go to click on that there. All right. So I'm just going to read this out loud. Again, you can minimize your screen and kind of make it a double screen for you, so that way you can listen to the questions while you're doing your questions. So number 1, what is the main idea of the story? A, Thanksgiving dinner was eaten by hand. B, manners for meal times have changed over time. C, we are eating more and more like our ancestors. Or D, sharing cups and spoons was not rude in the 1500s. What was the main idea of the story? Okay. Next one. Choose a supporting detail of for this sentence. That should say sentence, not sentence. There were a few rules for eating behavior in the 1500s. So what is the supporting detail for that sentence? A, it was considered rude not to use a napkin. B, European royalty started to expand their tableware. C, you were supposed to toss any bones under the table. Or D, there was an elaborate system of etiquette for banquets. Remember, you can pause this video at any time to make sure that you are looking at the question over again and answering it the best that you can. Okay, so if I'm going too quick, you can always pause this video. Next question. Why did landowners in colonial America buy silverware and dishes? A, they wanted to eat more neatly and not spill as many things. B, they wanted to prove that they had higher status than they would have had in Great Britain. C, they wanted to become members of royalty. Or D, they wanted to have more sanitary eating conditions in their homes. Next question. What is ironic about mealtime manners in the 21st century? What is ironic about them? After developing a system of table manners, we're starting to eat by hand again. We are starting to share cups and plates again. C, after importing a lot of dishes and silverware, we have worse manners. Or D, we are eating like pilgrims even at Thanksgiving dinner. Next question, this one right here. Choose the correct meaning for the vocabulary word status. Status doesn't mean A, manners, B, silverware, C, rank, or D, unclean. Do not choose option 5. It is not the correct answer. Next word. Next question. Choose the correct meaning of the vocabulary word etiquette. Those should all say choose as well. Etiquette, does it mean manners, silverware, rank, or unclean? Next question, this one here. Choose the correct meaning of the vocabulary word elaborate. Complicated or complex, silverware, rank, or unclean. Next one. Choose the correct meaning for the vocabulary word utensils. Does utensils mean complicated or complex? Silverware, rank, or unclean? And last one, choose the correct meaning for the vocabulary word unsanitary. Does it mean complex or complicated? Silverware, rank, or unclean? Okay, make sure you submit that And then once again, make sure once you do submit it, you push this mark as done so that way I can see all your answers. Okay. If you have any questions, make sure you comment on this video so that way I'm able to see it and I'm able to connect to you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.